All right, we're going to create a backsplash, and this is sort of the upper cabinets. And you can see some pieces of tape around there. Let me show you what we've done. In order to shoot this, you'd have to be able to hit the top of this, the sides, the tops of these, to get those lines to come over. So what we do instead is we take this as part of your template markers, and this is exactly 2 inches. So we put tape around, and we mark 2 inches offset all along the perimeter. This is marked down directly from the wall, from this side here. And the same thing here. This is marked directly down from here using a 6-foot level. So that gives us a complete outline of the template that we're going to use for backsplash.
To create our backsplash using a countertop tool to automate it, we're going to make some changes to our normal settings. So in a countertop setting situation, we want corner treatments, but with the backsplash, we don't. In the case of the overhang, we have set the offset at 2 inches all around the perimeter, and I want that to go back to within 1/8 in this case. Maybe you wanted a 1/16, so I'm going to set this at 1.84. We'll just turn off. We don't need point IDs, linear footage. We're going to leave the labels at a 1/16 of an inch. So these are the settings that I'm going to use to create a backsplash and automating the trimming using the countertop tool.
Okay, to get started with our backsplash, we're going to do the X, Y 3-point datum. We're going to use that to change the working plane to that wall. Right now, it's presently, the working plane is parallel to the floor, and we're going to make the working plane against that wall. And to do that, we use a starting point along the X axis, a direction point along the X axis, and a Y position up on the wall. And now you can see our datum processing was completed successfully. The wall is now our working surface for our geometries. And as previously noted, we've already marked a perimeter. Okay, we're going to go into the countertop mode and begin shooting our perimeter for a backsplash. And we're going to shoot clockwise. Two points per edge. And just like in countertops, we want to make sure that there's a sharp enough angle between the different directions of the surface of the perimeter, more than a 5-degree difference. Coming along underneath. This is the arbitrary line coming down from the outer edge of the cabinet. We're going to come off the cabinet top. The mark on the wall behind the cabinets will make a substitute. We'll have to add an extra 1 1/4 inches to cover our countertop. And now we've got a complete perimeter for a backsplash. And I'm going to hit the Enter key. Now you'll notice that it creates an overhang. So I marked the cabinets. Let me go over here to the wall. I marked the cabinets 2 inches down, and then I created an overhang that went back 1/16 of an inch less. So that I've got a 1/16 inch perimeter all around the outside edges. Now I want that along the top. I don't want it on the side. I want the side to actually be right along the cabinet, which is the line that I shot. So I'm going to go into dynamic editing. I'm going to click on this edge. And rather than having the overhang be enough to leave me that 1/8 of an inch, or 1/16 of an inch, depending on what you prefer, I'm going to set this to 0. And I'm going to set this side, the overhang, to 0. And all that does is it puts this line right back where it was. So before it had pushed out, like I wanted it to push out here and here because it's going against the surface that needs some clearance. But here I really didn't want to push out, so I just used dynamic editing to bring it back directly in line. And then here, I'm going to bring this up 1 1/4 inches.
Now along the bottom, the yellow line is actually the cabinet top that we shot. And while as an overall template, we had it move all of these out as an overhang. In this case, I need that to come up from the actual line that I shot 1 1/4 inches. And to do that, we're going to create a line tool that goes out a specific distance, 1 1/4 inches. Select the vector. Yep, I want this one. I want to go to that way. So now we've created the line where we want the bottom of our template to actually be. We'll need to trim this other off. So first I'm going to go to automatic trim tool, trim that to there, trim that to there. Then I'm going to delete these lines. And to get rid of these 2 lines, I'm going to go to another trim tool. I'm going to trim this to that. I'm going to trim this to that.
So that creates my perimeter drawing, giving me an 1/8 or a 1/16, depending on how you set your settings for the overhang, clearance around the cabinet itself, direct straight lines down from this edge of the cabinet. Now, if you'll notice on the wall, I also have a light switch underneath both of the long cabinets. So I'm going to go into my 2 points to make a rectangle. I'm going to shoot one end of this rectangle and the other opposite corner. And you'll notice on the screen now it makes a cutout for that switch. And I'm going to go over to this one. I'm going to do the first corner. Then I'm going to do the opposite corner. Shoot that point. And so here's my other wall switch.